in the match the world is waiting for.
In a matchup that has captured the attention of fans worldwide, it's John Cena facing off against Batista. Their journeys in WWE began around the same time, and it was only natural for a rivalry to develop.
The time is indeed now.
That rivalry is just inevitable.
John Cena can't beat me. This is a dream matchup.
And that's where the magic started to happen.
Batista bomb. Look at Cena.
The competition between Batista and Cena during the 2000s represented a pivotal moment in determining who would emerge as the face of WWE.
You want to be the face of the company? Step up and let's do this tonight.
Interestingly, their rivalry extended beyond the squared circle. It was fueled by their parallel paths and competitive spirits. There were moments when it felt like one's success was overshadowing the other, leading to tension.
It's like you should be happy for your success. You're a main eventer. Be happy with where you are. And I think he saw that as a slap in the face.
I should be the main face of the WWE.
Both guys are highly competitive. It becomes really personal in a hurry.
You push forward, you move on, you overcome. That is what I believe. The champ is here.
Both Cena and Batista possessed an intense drive, which quickly turned their rivalry into something deeply personal.
He's just like all of you. He's a common loser.
If you are at the top of any industry, you want to be the best at anything, you need somebody to push you.
Between you and me, who's better?
Their competitive nature pushed them to excel, and they thrived on the challenge of being at the top of their game.
And these guys had these expectations on them. They exceeded it. They had the expectations on the matches, and they exceeded it. Well, this is a hell of a run.
Hello, Kentucky, and welcome to How About a Wrestling right here on WBKI.
At OVW, it was crazy. All these stud athletes, man, and they just kept coming and coming.
In this context, we see Cena as the prototype,
The prototype, tell you what, he's got a brilliant future in this profession.
and Batista as Leviathan,
Leviathan is the new OVW Heavyweight Champion.
both larger-than-life figures in WWE. Reflecting on Batista, my initial thought was that he was truly larger than life.
Seeing guys like Dave motivated me.
Oh my God.
Competition was fierce but ultimately beneficial, driving both men to push each other to new heights.
Prototype. You may be the perfect man, but no man can slay a demon.
With two superstars vying for prominence,
Prototype went for the kick. The demon catches it. Clotheslines him out of his boots.
Batista's ascent served as a motivating factor for Cena.
Prototype now belly to back and again on the demon.
That's how that motivated me.
Prototype is the new Ohio Valley Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
At that time, WWE was undergoing a significant transformation. The end of the Attitude Era and the departure of The Rock for Hollywood left a noticeable void. The company urgently needed fresh talent to fill that gap. In 2002, with The Rock gone, WWE sought out new faces, young and dynamic individuals ready to take center stage. There was much discussion during production meetings about whether Cena and Batista were prepared for this responsibility, but ultimately, the decision was made to move forward. Whether they were prepared or not, the decision was made. They were going on TV, and the hope was that they would find success.
As I know this kid, this is John Cena, one of the many young talents who could be looking to knock on the door of opportunity.
When wrestlers transition from developmental programs to the main roster, it feels like starting from scratch. John Cena was a talent that WWE struggled to figure out.
Got it, this is a little boring. Boring.
Initially, he was perceived as uninteresting, sporting colorful shorts that matched local sports teams.
John Cena wearing the Carolina blue. I'd like to point that out.
Clearly, he needed something more to stand out. On the other hand, Batista was introduced as Deacon Batista, serving as an enforcer for Devin Dudley.
What the? Who is that? What is that? What's he holding?
He was a good son of a bitch.
Unfortunately, this character didn't resonate well. Personally, I found it uninspiring. It felt like a poor fit. The Deacon Batista persona lacked authenticity and didn't showcase who Dave really was.
Backstage had their reservations about me. Nobody liked me. Everyone was like, hey, don't work with John. He has no respect for this business. I don't think he's going to be anything. And I would do nothing but prove them right in the first phase of my attempt at connection and development in WWE.
No, I wasn't progressing. I wasn't becoming the guy that they needed me to be. There was more than a few occasions where I thought I was going to lose my own.
The WWE had a tradition of making roster cuts around late November, known as the Christmas cuts, and Cena was informed that he would be among those released.
Frustration by John Cena.
It's astonishing to think that these future icons were on the brink of not making it in the industry. In WWE, the talent travels together on buses, creating a close-knit community. One day, John overheard some fellow wrestlers freestyling and thought he'd give it a try.
Heard a bunch of guys standing in the back of the bus, and they were all freestyling, you know, like rapping. And I remember just being like, let's go try this.
When he began rapping, the response was electric. Everyone was cheering him on. If he could win over such a tough crowd, it was clear he could connect with a broader audience.
Word life. This is basic thugonomics. I excel beyond sports. He rocks a horn on his head. I rock a horn in my shorts.
He was able to turn around and connect with our audience.
It's time to make John Cena a household name. John Cena pumping it up. Connecting.
This newfound persona allowed Cena to resonate with fans, and soon it was time to elevate him into a household name.
It was unbelievable when he came out. Everybody got on their feet. Everybody in the ring, it changed.
At the same time, Triple H was at the peak of his career and recognized Batista's potential, choosing him to complete the legendary faction known as Evolution.
Dave Batista, 6'5", 325 pounds of genetic stopping power.
David gone from the big guy that just stood in the corner with no sleeves to the guy that was having great matches.
A beast has been unleashed.
Joining this faction solidified his status within WWE. Around this period, WWE was undergoing a significant brand split with separate rosters for SmackDown and Raw, Batista on Raw and Cena on SmackDown.
And on each show, Batista on Raw.
Batista bomb!
And John Cena on SmackDown.
SmackDown's fastest rising star, John Cena!
Both were ascending to prominence simultaneously. Although they never faced off directly during this time, it was clear their paths were destined to cross. Witnessing Batista's success within Evolution motivated Cena to elevate his own performance on SmackDown.
Undertaker up on John Cena's shoulders. Wow!
From a creative perspective, it was too enticing to ignore the potential for these two rising stars to clash. It felt inevitable.
Welcome to the 18th annual Royal Rumble.
Fast forward to the 18th annual Royal Rumble in 2005. As competitors were eliminated one by one, anticipation built until we reached the moment everyone had been waiting for.
Cena and Batista go over the top rope at the same time. It wasn't written in the script they'd go over at the same time. If you wanted to write it in the script, you couldn't do it any better than the way they both landed.
Cena and Batista were both thrown over the top rope at the same time. This wasn't part of the script. Their simultaneous exit couldn't have been choreographed better if it had been planned. You could see the confusion on everyone's faces as they scrambled to figure out what to do next. The two unexpected winners of the Royal Rumble created an unforgettable moment.
The two winners of the Royal Rumble.
It was crazy.
Per order of the chairman, he has ordered that this match be restarted.
This was something we had never seen before, an unprecedented moment that spiraled into pure chaos and ultimately became a historic highlight.
It was not without controversy.
Yeah, that was absolute pure chaos, but it became historic. It's one of the most memorable Rumble moments in history.
I thought it actually worked out better because here we are still talking about it.
But we are alive in Hollywood, and this is WrestleMania.
Here we are in Hollywood for WrestleMania 21, where two icons were passing the torch. JBL to Cena and Triple H to Batista. These were the individuals expected to lead WWE into the future. It's a natural progression. The younger talent inevitably seeks to push the veterans aside.
Can Batista pinning? Yes! Batista has won the world title!
You had the established stars handing over the titles, signaling that it was now the younger generation's time to shine. The expectations placed on Cena and Batista were immense, almost beyond comprehension. This marked the true emergence of Batista and John Cena as the new faces of WWE.
And I think with us coming up through OVW, kind of neck and neck, we're mirror images of each other, our careers, where they were going, where they were at that time.
At that time, John Cena was front and center. His name was on all the marquees, and he was featured in commercials. WWE had made the decision that Cena would be the face of the company. Batista respected that, acknowledging Cena's position as the top guy, but there was an underlying tension.
Dave loved that the company considered John to be the number one. He was just like, absolutely, if the company sees John as the top guy, I'm all for it. I'll be here in catering. Okay, I'll give a real answer. I think Dave considered himself just as equally talented and just as equally money-making as John Cena was. That was a point of contention for Dave.
Deep down, Dave believed he was just as talented and capable of drawing money as Cena was, which created some friction. The sentiment was that Batista should be content with his own success as a main eventer.
It's like, Dave, you should be happy for your success. You're a main eventer. Be happy with where you are. And I don't think Dave was satisfied with that. And I think he saw that as a slap in the face.
However, he felt overlooked, especially as WWE began producing films and casting Cena in lead roles like the Marine. Batista, despite being a top star, wasn't receiving similar opportunities, leading to understandable frustration. The two hadn't faced off since their intense Royal Rumble match back in 2005. It was clear to everyone that they were on a collision course, and it was only a matter of time before their paths crossed again.
As general manager, I am proud to announce that at SummerSlam, it will be John Cena versus the animal Dave Batista.
Our resumes are both impressive. We've answered a lot of questions. We've never answered this one.
If Cena versus Batista was destined to be a major draw, we needed to capitalize on it soon.
Between you and me, who's better?
It is indeed the biggest blockbuster of the summer. No hype needed. Nearly 16,000 strong to see Cena and Batista butt heads for the first time in a one-on-one matchup.
The anticipation was palpable, with nearly 16,000 fans eager to witness these two titans clash for the first time in a one-on-one match. As the summer unfolded, the excitement grew. Cena was undoubtedly the bigger star at that point, which may have gnawed at Batista a bit.
This matchup really to prove who's better than who. Cena hits it! He got him! He can kick out at 2.5! Can you believe it?
That night, both competitors pushed each other to their limits.
Oh, look out! Batista's in another gear here! Batista bomb! The vicious assault! And Batista picks up the win!
John Cena at that time may have been the face of the company, but Batista scores the big win in the big moment.
While Cena was recognized as the face of WWE during that era, it was Batista who seized a significant victory when it mattered most, leaving fans curious about what would unfold next. At this time, WWE's direction was shifting towards a family-friendly approach, toning down language and storylines as part of what became known as the PG era. This environment presented challenges for both Batista and Cena.
Slowly, the people who were watching changed. When I saw it happen, I didn't need a sheet of analytics. I can see it. So I said, this is it. We're changing up right now.
As viewership demographics evolved, WWE recognized the need for change, prompting a strategic pivot in their programming. Now we find ourselves in the PG era, where John Cena was effectively drawing in audiences with his family-friendly message. He consistently adapted to the constraints of this environment, proving that as long as the crowd was engaged, he was doing his job right. His mindset was clear. Why resist the change? In contrast, Batista's character, and perhaps even his true self, didn't quite fit the mold of a PG persona. He embodied a more mature character on a program aimed at younger viewers.
This is not about you. This is about me being in the spotlight where I deserve to be.
As we approached WrestleMania in 2010, the lines between storyline and reality began to blur.
John Cena is the face of World Wrestling Entertainment, and that is what eats at Batista.
This company has decided to label you as the man. John Cena, the name and face of the WWE.
The tension between Dave and Cena resonated with fans. It was relatable. Batista was genuinely upset that Cena had been labeled as the chosen one.
Perception in this case was reality.
Movies.
While some of Batista's feelings may have simmered beneath the surface, he now had the opportunity to express them fully as a bitter heel character.
I should be the name and face of the WWE. I'm the biggest star in this company.
This development fit perfectly into the narrative, making it the ideal moment for their long-anticipated confrontation. Finally, Batista and Cena were set to clash at WrestleMania 26. As the event approached, anticipation reached fever pitch.
Batista has been craving the spotlight in recent weeks. And here tonight he comes out in a lone spotlight.
When we think back to WrestleMania 21, there was a sense of anticipation that these two would be the future of the company. Fast forward 5 years to WrestleMania 26, and they were headlining the event after holding the championship for several years. That's a testament to a successful investment.
You can feel it here tonight, a big fight feel.
These two wrestlers, who started their journeys together and faced their own challenges along the way, had truly found their identities. Now, they stood before a massive crowd at WrestleMania, ready to draw in fans for the biggest show of the year.
Cena saying, "You can't see me." Batista down. Look at Cena. Cena delivers the five-knuckle shuffle.
Huge crowd, so again, huge numbers. We bet on you. We know that you were going to draw people into the biggest show of them all, and you're going to bring, and that's what they did.
Oh no! Cena kicked out. I think Cena's got him. Cena's got him. Attitude adjustment. Batista kicked out.
And it was that palpable excitement that permeated the grandest stage of them all.
Oh, he's the new champion. Batista's in trouble. Cena's got the STF locked in. It's over. John Cena has done it. And new WWE Champion, John Cena.
After all that talk about how you wanted to take my spot and called yourself the face of the company, you can write a chapter in the dynasty of the Animal Batista. You can regain the WWE Championship. How can he do it, folks? Rematch.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last man standing match. The only way to win this match is to incapacitate your opponent to the point that he is unable to answer the referee's count of 10.
Last man standing match, the objective was clear. Incapacitate your opponent so they can't answer the referee's count of 10. It was time for another epic showdown.
Here comes Cena! Here comes Cena! Cena's hot time Batista!
Where you're going, how are they going to continue?
Out of this! You can't see
Despite Batista's immense talent, he often struggled to showcase his authentic self during the PG era, which wasn't particularly suited to his style. John Cena frequently had the upper hand in their encounters, and it's likely that Batista felt somewhat sidelined.
Cena usually got the better of him, and so I would guess that he felt left behind.
At that time, he had concerns with WWE's creative direction regarding his storylines, which stemmed from the value he placed on the craft. For him, wrestling is an art form, whether through physical storytelling or performance-driven narratives. That's what drew him in. In contrast, Cena approached it with a more business-oriented mindset, while Batista leaned heavily into the creative aspect. He had a strong desire to fulfill his artistic vision.
2 weeks with the WWE Championship on the line, I will face Dave Batista in an I Quit match.
That night brought a whirlwind of emotions for Batista. The next match was an I Quit match.
The following is an I Quit match. The only way to win this match is to make your opponent say the words, I quit.
Where victory could only be claimed by making your opponent utter those words. The stakes were high, and Batista was determined to prove his worth. At that moment, Batista was preparing to leave WWE, and then there was John Cena holding the title of the champion.
I may want to be protective of myself while I do that.
You gotta be kidding me! Cena going for the adjustment.
But that wasn't Dave. And that's a feather in his professional cap, wanting to put on the best show possible.
You want to quit? I'm doing it. I quit. He said he's done it. He's done it. Cena retains the WWE title.
Putting his body in jeopardy.
And he still did it. Whoa!
To still give the WWE Universe what they want to see.
And there's no dispute tonight over who the best is. John Cena, the WWE Champion.
A reflection of the mutual respect they had developed over time. Even though they came up from humble beginnings, battling their way to the top, there's a complex dynamic in their rivalry. They fought side by side, yet there's this underlying tension. It's like you want to see your rival succeed, but at the same time, you're striving for your own success. That really speaks volumes about Dave Batista. It reflects the journey that many have faced in the industry. Batista handled it with grace, demonstrating professionalism throughout.
That's what's great about Dave. Just his ability to keep everything professional. There's resentment when I'm given some opportunities and Dave is struggling to find those opportunities. But I will tell you personally, never once did Dave treat me any different. Not just cordial, friendly. Like, empathetically friendly.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Batista!
I've always believed that if you know you're moving on, you should make a grand exit, something that leaves a lasting impression.
Give me my spotlight. Give me my spotlight.
Make it be as memorable as possible.
You're nothing without me. This place is nothing without me.
This could be seen as a pivotal moment in Dave's evolution, showcasing his ability to embrace new facets of his personality.
You think I'm kidding? You think I won't do it? You think I won't quit? I quit!
After transitioning to Hollywood, Batista surprised many, though perhaps not himself, by becoming a legitimate star. At the same time, Cena's acting career began to gain momentum as well. Both were achieving remarkable success in blockbuster films. I can't help but wonder if they ever compare notes on their projects or think about who had the better year. It seems like their rivalry could carry on into Hollywood, even as they both enjoy tremendous achievements.
When you think about John Cena and Batista, you wonder if either of them would have been able to get as far as they got to had it not been for the other.
When considering John Cena and Batista, one has to ponder whether they would have reached such heights without the other's influence. They've both enjoyed incredible careers while simultaneously elevating each other along the way. We must take a serious look at their rivalry as a cornerstone of WWE history. It wasn't about one winning over the other, it was more about both of them triumphing together.
I'm happy for John. He was given an opportunity. He just took it and ran. I mean, how can you hate a guy for that? And also, he was never unkind to me. He was never unfair to me. I treated him with respect, and he treated me with respect.
While their rivalry may be remembered fondly for its entertainment value and historical significance, it's also a testament to their personal growth and resilience. They've both developed into multi-talented individuals, navigating new challenges outside of the ring, and their journey is a lesson for us all.